Why should we still have faith in Bitcoin?
Well, I think like any new technology, it's going through its growing pains right now. But we don't look at the price day to day. I think that we look at it, in a 5-10 year time horizon. And the critical pieces of infrastructure, like a U.S.-based exchange, are being built as we speak. So I think that's going to long-term build a very interesting situation for Bitcoin.
Tyler, have you guys hitched your wagon to Bitcoin specifically, or are you interested in all cryptocurrencies? Because there's the idea that it may not win.
Right. Right now, Bitcoin, but we do believe there may be other cryptocurrencies as well. But Gemini is an agnostic platform.
So you can trade any of these different currencies?
Right now, it'll just be Bitcoin.
Why are you going the road of trying to set up an exchange? Of all ways to do this, the exchanges seem to be the part that's had the most problems. And again, I go back to Mt. Gox.
Yeah, and part of that problem is that there hasn't been U.S. regulation, and that regulation is being built and just around the corner. So people have been forced to use exchanges offshore and deal with those risks and lack of transparency, lack of regulation. So I think that a U.S. regulated entity is the next step to really bringing people who don't want to or are unable to transact on a foreign exchange into the Bitcoin economy in America.
Is this thing really going to launch in the first quarter?
We think so.
Yeah? What do the regulators think? Yeah. What do the regulators think?
So we're waiting on licensing. So that's the regulators. You'd have to ask them. They know. But publicly they've said Q1. So we're thinking Q1.
Go ahead.
I don't know whether we've got this chart, but I took a look yesterday of actual amount of transactions per day for Bitcoin, and it's not going the way you guys would want it to go. It's not looking like this. It's kind of tootling up at below 45 degrees. So, what do you do to make that growth exponential instead of arithmetic, which is what we're looking at right now?
So I think
Toodle is a technical term, by the way.
Right. So I think like the infrastructure layer of Bitcoin is where we are right now, and building things like a U.S.-based exchange is a key piece of that. And then the next piece is the application layer. And so I don't think you can really have the application layer and see the explosive growth without the actual infrastructure. So if you take it back to the early days of the internet, without the routers and the Ciscos and things like that, you can't get the Googles.
You two